Get me that signal. We need more power.
And we're at Gen Con, and we're at the Stronghold Games booth because a convention is not a convention without Stephen Bonacore.
Elliot is too kind to Stephen Bonacore. How you doing, guys? How you doing, Elliot?
Pretty good. Look, I gotta know, you got some brand new stuff here at Gen Con, and
A lot.
Yeah, people want to know.
They want to know, and I have the knowledge to impart to you. Well, let's start out big. My magnum opus, as you can say. Flew these in from Germany to be here. Space Cadets Away Missions, the third game in the Space Cadets franchise. Why is this game cool? Well, first look at the size of this box.
Yeah, no kidding.
Look at what's in this box. 102 plastic miniatures with 16 different sculpts. The game came out as beautiful as I could have expected. Amazing amount of contents in chrome. And what this game is about, it's like a dungeon crawl in space. So you got all your great plastic miniatures to go out there. You're going to be going on missions. There's 20 missions in the game. And you're going to be exploring alien space stations and alien rockets and going after and destroying the aliens and going on an objective. There's an objective in every one of those missions. 20 come in the box. And it's a narrative story arc that you can explore the entire game. One of the very cool mechanics of this is the what we call the overkill system. In there, when you roll your dice, if you get more than one success, the first one is going to be shooting an alien because you got to get rid of them. They're going to be swarming you. And the other ones are used for like heroic feats, essentially. They're called overkill mechanics. And your weapons have overkill mechanics. Each character has a different overkill mechanic. The monsters, when you hit them, they have an overkill option you can use as well. So you're going to have these great narratives that you're going to be telling with the game as you play it, because you're going to say, like, I remember that time where I killed the Sentinel with that last shot and was able to do 3 successes, to run into the next square, to pick up the neuronic hyperbolizer, to use that. And it's all this golden age science fiction silliness that you would remember. You have the Saucer Man, the leaders, bugs. You have a brain in a jar. How great is a game that has a brain in a jar? It's actually a brain miniature with a jar. So hopefully you'll get some really good pictures of the actual sculpts that are on the table over there. Yep. So that's Space Cadets Away Missions.
I'm looking forward to this one because I kickstarted it.
Oh, thank you. There's a few copies here to get the whole buzz machine going on here at Gen Con.
Yes.
Next game we have here, none of these out in stores yet, or most of these are not. We'll get to the one that is. This is Among the Stars Revival, the next game in the Among the Stars franchise. This is a 2-player standalone expansion. So you can play this game out of the box, 2 players, get some really new, interesting mechanics for 2 players, and you can port those mechanics into the rest of the cards in the other game, and it's very modular. There's a couple of different modules within the game that you can then take and bring into. There's an advisors module. You bring that into the base game. The spaceships give a lot of this interaction, and they park at the different locations, and therefore you can't build around them. So some really interesting new things that are great just to right out of the box. You can play with 2 players, or take all those mechanics and the cards and bring them into the original Among the Stars game.
So it's a standalone, but you can also import it into the
Absolutely, a standalone expansion. Love using that term, and that's exactly what it is. It works really well. La Granja. Well, La Granja. La Granja, if you're an American like me, right? We can't pronounce this. The farm. It's farming in the Mediterranean. Tom Vassel's favorite topic. Farming in the Mediterranean. But he actually loves the game too, which is fun. Real nice medium weight Euro. Doesn't have the brain insanity of like a Kanban, but it's definitely thinky, and you've got a lot of stuff going on. The cards are a brilliant mechanic in this game. The cards are very Carl Chudik-like. This is by some German designers, but they have that glory to Rome where you can use the card in 4 different ways depending on how you position it on your game board. Each player has this own game board, and this is the main board. If you put the cards under here, they're workers. They do something for you. If you put them over here, they're fields for your farm. Here they're farm extensions. Over here they're market barrows to take your goods to go to the market to then sell them. Victory point based, lots and lots of ways of scoring victory points in this game. For a Euro fan, this is a Nirvana kind of game. It just really you play 2. It's a 6-round game. You play 2 rounds and you got it, and you're going to be able to play this game with everybody. So
I see it says 1 to 4 players, so you can play it solo.
You can actually play it solo. Go try to optimize the game system. That's So the solo player market is something that a lot of people are doing because they just, they have families, they can't get away, but they put the kids to bed, they have an hour, they crack out a game and they do it. So it's not something that I normally do, but there's been a lot of call for that. So this was also gave you that option that you can crack it out and play it alone. It's certainly great for learning the game too.
Exactly.
Then you teach it your friends. Then you bring them over and you play a 4-player game later with them. And that is La Granja or La Granja.
Awesome.
All right. Dark Moon.
There it is.
This is not out in stores yet either. Dark Moon, as we promptly put at the bottom, the game formerly known as BSG Express.
Right.
This was originally a print and play game, and it was based on Battlestar Galactica. Obviously, we don't have that IP. My good friends over at Fantasy Flight have that IP. Evan Derrick created a game that instead of that 3 to 4 hour marathon, that is Battlestar Galactica, you can play this game in an hour or just a little bit more, 3 to 7 players. The brilliance in this game is this dice mechanic. There's 29 custom dice in the game. The dice all have numbers on them. It says positive numbers and negative numbers, but each die has got 4 negative numbers and 2 positive numbers. So your average expected result on one die is a negative number. And when you roll the dice secretly behind your screen, and then you have to present a die to go on the different missions and do the tasks that come up in the game. So even the good guys who are doing the tasks, trying to achieve them and put positives, they're going to be putting negative numbers in occasionally because that's what they rolled. And of course, for the bad guys, they roll numbers behind the screen. Say they rolled 3 dice, 2 of them were positive, and there was a negative. They go, oh God, I rolled all negatives. This is terrible. And of course, they'll put the negative number to poison the pot again.
Right.
So the task won't be done successful. Just like in Battlestar, the good guys trying to get to the last mission. That's how they gotta win this thing. They have to survive. And the bad guys, the infected players, who don't know who each other are, but we will know how many there are in the game, in any given game. That they are trying to sabotage one or more of the systems, of course, that are on the ship. The shield control, the outpost status. There's all these different systems that they have to destroy. If they destroy one of them completely, game's over for the humans and the bad guys, the infected players, as we call them.
And meanwhile, they're trying to play innocent.
Of course.
I had to. I had no choice.
That's exactly right. So that's Dark Moon, and it actually is the fastest selling game I have here at the show right now. This street dates next week, August 5th.
Awesome. And a review coming soon from the Boys of East. Stay tuned.
All right. Thank you very much. And here we go. Survive Space Attack.
That's interesting.
This is the next game, full game in the Survive line. Of course, everyone should know Survive Escape from Atlantis, which has been my biggest selling game. Have had it out for years. My biggest selling game. Not only continues to sell, but sales continue to increase because it is truly the ultimate gateway. I think the ultimate gateway game.
It really is. It's a lot of fun.
They talk about Ticket to Ride and Settlers of Catan as being the best gateway game. Those are certainly good gateway games. But this one is so the original Survive is so approachable. You can play with your grandmother. You can play with. We have an 8 to adult, on the box. You can play with kids much younger than that even. And everybody, once they get into this, they just love this game that is easy to approach, nice bit of conflict. You have to be a good natured sport in this game because it is a mean kind of game.
Right.
So what are the Engelsteins done in this game? They've reimagined the game. They've taken that same base core mechanic of Survive, where it was an island that's sinking and going away to get your guys to the outer islands. Now you have a space station that is being under attack by aliens, so it's breaking apart. And you've got to get your little astronaut guys, spacemen we call them, to one of the 4 jump points. But what else have we added to this game? That part's the same. We now have a double-sided game board. So you can set the game up sort of in the traditional manner like this, and on the other side, there's a variant way of setting up the game with only 2 jump points, making it harder to get off. And the space station's already been broken up a little bit. You have fighter ships now. You can jump into a fighter ship and start shooting at the aliens. When you shoot them, you can then redeploy them against one of your opponents. You have laser turrets that are going to fire off to shoot at the aliens. You'll see there's 4 laser turrets that are on the highest points. Talk about the highest points. There are now 4 tile thicknesses instead of 3 in the original game, which looked great. Now we have 4 different tile thicknesses, like 2, 3, 4, 5 millimeter tile, up to 6 millimeter tiles. They look beautiful. New tile abilities. The tile abilities can be combined. There's 4 different colored tiles. play immediately tiles, other ones you keep in your hand to play later. And they now can be combined, and the tile and the combinations of powers get bigger and bigger. And finally, alien creatures can evolve and become even more powerful. So we've added a little more game in the box, a little more gamerly. $50 now from the original. The original game is still in print, and that's $40 game. Add a little more game in it, but still a great family game, great gateway game, and a great game you're going to play with your buddies, beer and pretzel, stab each other in the back, and curse at each other over the table. So, Survive Space Attack coming out in September as well. We've committed to a very big print run, and it's going to be a big hit for us, we believe. And that's all the new stuff. We still have also selling diamonds a lot. Good old diamonds. Came back in stores just recently.
Yes.
Of course, doing very well for us, continues to. We're running, if you look back at the backboard, we're running the national championships at Gen Con. The Envoy program is running that for us in the other hall. We're advertising for them. Diamonds is going to be one of those games that's going to sell for us over time. Really? And, whoops, there we go. I just dropped all my diamonds. Oh, thank you so much. And Pictomania. Here we go.
Little Pictomania.
The other one that we've been selling came out earlier this year from Vlaada Chvátil. Drawing game with a really interesting take where how great your drawings are don't necessarily matter. You got to doodle quickly and guess what the other people are drawing. So it's as much a quick drawing game as it is a guessing game to figure out what other people. Funniest story about this game is that my artist Bill Bricker, who's on the other side of the table helping me sell games, he's the artist for Space Cadets Away missions. He's the artist on Dark Moon. The guy is a genius. He's brilliant. He came, when he played it at Origins, he came in dead last in the game. He scored 3 points in the entire game because an artist can't conceive of drawing pictures like this.
Right.
And then at the same moment looking over there to try to figure out what these other people are drawing. Dead last. He loves that story. I love telling it. And he's brilliant illustrator. So that's what Stronghold Game has out now and has coming out. A lot more stuff coming out also in the September, October, November timeframe. So I hope you guys follow us. Go to our website, strongholdgames.com, sign up for the newsletter, follow us on Twitter, all that kind of good stuff. Thank you, Elliot, very much.
All right, thanks a lot.
And you hear that voice? It's only Friday. My voice is already gone. Not good. Take care, guys.